Welcome back, everybody. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Triple Crown playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. Where we left off last time, we had just recruited our full group, and we had gotten most of the quests in Gilded Vale. There was one we missed out on, and I'm going to go do that one right now. I just didn't remember about it. I am checking quests to make sure we get them all as we continue on our way. So we need to go to the mill. While we're here. And we discovered the Temple of Aethys. We also have to go see the tree for our FaceTime with the dead dwarf lady, I think. Here we go. Cutscene time. Or like, in-game cutscene. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shout emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards that comes through that door gets shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads, but we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame, we'll have a reckoning. Don't do that. Don't burn down the mill. It's your only mill. So it would appear that there are people that are unhappy with the way things are going in this town. Let's go talk to Trumbull here. Although we might get shot as we come in the door, but that's okay. It's a risk I'm willing to take. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stock build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn and his eyes wide. Behind him a younger man and a woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises his club as you enter and shakes it violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. Actually, I don't like being threatened. We have that in common then, Trumbull says, raising his chin a little. With all the poison Swainers dripping in their ears, it's not going to be long before someone decides they'd rather do things the messy way, and I won't let anything happen to my family. And who's Swainer? The dwarf, the one standing out there, spreading lies among the villagers. Bastard's been here for decades, and he hasn't gotten any kinder with time. The miller hesitates, then lowers his club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swainer roping foreigners into his little crusade now? My name is Asharan Set, and I've only just arrived in Gilded Vale. Trumbull shakes his head. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all that shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swainer thinks he's the king of it. They're all of them mad. And what was the ruckus outside? Where to begin? Swainer's whipped them up into a froth going on about grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it, Trumbull says while shaking his head. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I paid the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale. And Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town, the crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting is from the farmers. Trumbull gestures to the sacks and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. You can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I barely got enough good grain to go around. Swainer's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I had got to go have a talk with Swainer then. No. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. Trumbull frowns. It's not, he pauses. Look, Swainer's always been a rotten bastard. With stores so limited, maybe I save the good stuff for people who deserve it. Offer, for instance, she's expecting a child. Should I let her starve instead? If you don't want those people in here with torches, maybe you ought to stop lying to me. Trumbull blinks, taken aback. It's no lie. The stores are really low. And with so little grain going around, I had to raise the prices for some people. There are folks in this town who deserve far better than Swainer and his lot. People who have done more for Gilded Vale. People like the magistrate? I can't do anything about that, Trumbull says, his voice quiet. That's just how it works. Maybe things are different elsewhere. Here, Radrick's men, they keep the village safe so they eat well. Swainer's people are farmers. They gather that grain for you. They sure didn't mind losing that grain when I was doing... Bleh. They sure didn't mind losing that grain when it was going into the drinks at the inn. They don't make like kind neighbors when they're insulting my son, go stumbling drunk through my own crops. You think they're the only ones who need to eat? Now the crops are sick, and the wind's too weak to get the windmill turning. Our village's children are born as empty shells. That's not my doing. This place is cursed, and Swainer and the others haven't done a thing to help the rest of us through the lean season. My throat is sore today, holy crap. Is your self-righteousness worth losing your family over? Trumbull opens his mouth to protest, but his expression shifts into resignation well before he finally nods and speaks. You're right, he says quietly. I've been trying to plan for the future, but we're in danger here and now. Fine, tell Swainer and the others I've reconsidered. Provided he pays the same as everyone else, he's welcome to his fair share, Trumbull sighs. And let's hope we can trade supplies real soon, or we'll all be in a bad way. Well, there, I solved this problem. It wasn't that bad. Got some experience, 102. Actually, we got like 204 in total, because there was 2 sets of 102. Which puts us close to, nowhere close to a level, actually. We're way far away. Let's go find Swainer. I wonder if he's at the inn. I actually don't remember where he goes after we deal with his little problem. Let's go, I guess, to the inn. You're Theo. Oh, you're a backer person. We will be going into the temple here in a little bit as well. There is definitely a quest down there. But I also want to go do some quests out in the Vale area. Deer Vale? Dire Vale? Something Vale? Where's Swainer? There he is. Swainer! Hey.
How do you do?
Don't know who you are, don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. What if I told you that Trumbull's changed his mind about his grain prices? The dwarf looks up blinking. What? Are you serious? He exchanged looks with his fellows who grinned hesitantly. The old man's listened to reason? About time. I told him he'd come around, but damn if he didn't take his time about it. He sets a few coppers on the table. Here, buy yourself a drink, now that we can afford it. Goes for you too as well. Drinks on me. Got some more experience for that. Look at that. We're sitting at 400 something. I'm taking your wheat and your ale. Alright, so we should probably go find the cook, because the cook is kind of important, and also it's a pretty easy first quest, and we can sort of get the hang of combat in Path of the Damned, because I haven't done a whole lot of Path of the Damned. I only did a little bit with a different playthrough where I was running 6 Chanters, and it was fun. It wasn't on Iron Man mode though, so we're gonna have to be super duper careful. And he is our stealther? Nope. She is our stealther. Nope. She's our stealth. Nope. Who the fuck is our stealther?
Hey there. Well? Yeah?
I guess
Yes.
she, not her.
Just say the
She's our
word.
stealther. I guess we don't have too much stealth right now.
Yes.
I thought we had more stealth, or we had a person that was dedicated to stealth. Veilwood, that's what it is. It's not Deer Vale or Vale something. Well, it is Vale something. It's Veilwood. There are a couple rougher fights in this zone, so we're going to have to be a little careful. Stash can now only be viewed by resting. So, I guess our rogue, that's our priest. Why isn't our rogue good at stealth? I guess she kind of is. She's got 2.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
There are definitely wolves right in this area. I remember that for sure.
Well?
Oh, right, there's also outlaws. I forgot all about them. Is it just the one? I mean, if it's just the one, it shouldn't be too hard. We can, we'll just quickly have a look, though. We'll glance around the outside of his line of sight. If it's just the one guy, we can easily take him down.
Finish them.
Tanks, go in. And everybody else. No big deal. Easy fight. Of course, I wasn't expecting one outlaw to put up too much of a threat anyways.
As you wish.
Okay, now... I wasn't lying about the wolves, though. There are definitely
the word.
wolves. That's... Yeah, that's
I'll
our
go on ahead.
rogue, right? I'm gonna have to get used to our group dynamic.
What
It's a
is
little
it?
bit different than my
Just
main
say the
group.
word.
But there should be wolves right here somewhere. There they are. Okay, so
Well.
we're gonna move up our group.
Just say the word.
All in stealth mode, because even a 0 stealth is not terrible.
What is it?
Okay, so
Oh?
that's about as good as it's gonna get. Is everyone
Just say the word.
Mm-hmm.
got all their stuff ready to go? Arcane assaults. Good, that's per encounter, right? Yeah, we have some spells.
Just say
They're
the
not very
word.
good spells, but that's okay. That's also per encounter.
Oh.
And we have some level 1 priest spells
Hey
ready
there.
to go. We have a knockdown.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have lay on hands. Okay.
Oh?
So we
Just
should
say
be
the
good to
word.
go.
You better run. Yeah.
Moment of truth. Let's see how well we do.
Yeah?
Queth.
No, don't run. You just stay
Feel
somewhere here. Oh no. What have I done? Get over here, close the gap. Now you three, let's open fire. What are you doing? Get the hell back over here. You are being stupid. This is not the time to be an idiot about things.
Sure.
Everybody's good on life so far. We got a knockdown, but that will have to be okay. The wolf is a little bit tougher than the young wolves, obviously.
I meant to do that.
We could probably get some spells off in here like this. She is taking a beating. Let's give her a lay on hands. Where's our priest? You're our priest, right? Yes, you are. Let's get some healing going. So that one's near death, that one's near death. Those ones are injured. We're looking pretty good to the end of the fight here.
Oh.
Okay, good. You fight that one, you fight this one, you fight this one, you three fight that one. Oh, never mind. Okay, let's kill off that last one. So in the event you're wandering through here without gathering a group first, this fight is an extremely hard fight. I did it on my hard playthrough by accident. I was just like, oh, I'm going to wander through here. How bad could it possibly go? It was bad. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Let's go up the wall. The crumbling wall is of considerable height even now, and its uneven surface promises a difficult climb. Who will scale it? Me, of course. You find handhold upon one of the large stones. You start to pull yourself up. The bricks are slick with moss and sit at strange angles, but you make your way up steadily and reach the top. Once there, you're able to help the rest of your company up and over the side. So there is a corpse on the ground here. Bum bum bum. We have some dexterity gauntlets. Fancy. We're going to grab those. There's some supplies which we don't need, and a letter. And the letter says, I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Fulvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I put myself out of reach of the beasts circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think that I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. He did not make it past those wolves, unfortunately. He did die a little bit. Now, who do we want to give this amazing +2 dexterity to? Probably our rogue, who is our primary damage dealer for ranged combat anyways. So now she should be a bit better at shooting fast. 30 action speed. That's actually damn good.
Well?
Alright, let's get out of here. That's blood moss, which, you know, I never actually used alchemy stuff all that often, but whatever. Climb down. We're done. There's nothing we can do about his body at the moment, and we are officially out of room for camping supplies. Now,
Just say the word.
there's another fight just up ahead, another relatively tough fight, and this is to save the cook. So there are 3 at least bandits here,
Well?
which shouldn't be too hard, I don't think.
Quiet.
Hey guys! The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook doesn't run off. Help, please, One of the bandits gives Tenfrith a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Alright, tank 1, tank 2, tank 3, go.
What is it?
You 3. On the archer. Make sure that archer doesn't do too much. Hey, where's my other tank? Oh, they're fighting. Fine, fight that one, I don't care. That bandit's nearly dead. Alright, kill this one next. That one's actually being pretty well taken care of. We might as well use this. We're gonna put it right
Just
there.
say the word.
I don't think that hit both of them. Gotta be kind of careful with placement. Oh, it doesn't matter now. I forgot that the AoEs don't actually show their AoEs anymore because we're on expert mode. It doesn't do that. Oh, looks like a bunch of junk, including a bunch of crappy leather armor. And some more junk. Tenfrith, you're alive.
Traveler.
By the flame, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life, or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Did Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once. But listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, make sure you drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me. I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my oven again. See you, man.
I'll go on ahead.
Any hidden things? I can't remember. I don't think so, but... This tent is empty but for a pair of stained cots and the stink of unwashed bodies. Ew. Gross. Nothing? Alright. So we've done the main things we came to this area for, as you may note. We did the... Oh, that's the other area. Mother's Plea is another area as well. We haven't done the Visions quest. Late to Dinner is the one we need to turn in, so... Let's go turn that one in. We might even get a level out of it for our main character. The rest of them will have to wait. Eventually they will sort of catch up in levels. Oops, that's the wolf area. We will be exploring the rest of the zone. And actually, you know what? Let's do it now. We have time. It's a little bit dangerous. There's some scarier-ish parts. But I think the scarier parts only come about when we, oh, we're full up on camping supplies.
Just say the word.
When we actually get the bounty for this area. Because there is a bounty up here. It's in this cave system that's over here. A young wolf. How many young wolves are part of this collective? Just the one? Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, okay.
Wetly seal.
If there's only one, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. One and done is what I always say. I've never said that before, actually. So after this video, I'm going to be uploading a early access let's play, or not let's play, but just an early access view of the new Master of Orion game that just came out on Friday for Collector's Edition people. I did get the Collector's Edition because I wanted to play early access. I know that I say that I don't play early access, but sometimes I bow to the peer pressure of my own mind. Master of Orion was one of the first games I ever played when I was young.
Yes.
I think it went Doom, Heroes of Might and Magic 1, and then Master of Orion. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was Doom, Master of Orion, Heroes of Might and Magic 1. It's a tough call. I can't remember.
As you wish.
A Zorup, just the one, maybe? Oh yeah, just the one. Okay. We all know all about Zorups from my other playthrough. They're not too bad in small groups, but when there's like 1,000 of them, they're really annoying. They remind me of the Zvarts from Baldur's Gate a little bit. Alright, so this is the cave in which we'll have... Actually, there'll be bears inside. We could probably fight some bears. Or can we? I wish I could quick save. We can always run away. Or no, we can't. Maybe we shouldn't go in here. We'll come back. We'll get a level and then we'll come back. At level 2 we should have no problem taking on the bears, but I think at level 1 it might be a little too dicey for us. We do not want to end up getting massacred into the ground by bears. That would just be plain bad and we would be dead. And that would be the end of our Triple Crown playthrough, so that would suck. We shouldn't do that. Off to Gilded Vale. Alright, so let's go turn in this quest. Ah, can't hit escape. There we go. I just gotta quickly text. Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. I just gotta let someone know I made it home, okay? Alright. Let's go. Not there. Where am I? How did I end up here? I must have misclicked. Sorry. I was like, this does not look like the inn at all. But we discovered the cave, so at least that got some experience for us. We're so close to a level. Not so much with these guys, but with everybody else we're pretty close to a level. Alright, let's go talk to Pasca.
Well met, friend.
Hello and welcome to the innkeeper looks up. Oh, it's you! Tenfrith told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenfrith said he wanted to whip you up something nice. He's already back to work in the kitchen. She laughed. So what would you like? Nothing. We got level with my main character at least. Let's go talk to Tenfrith and get whatever he's going to give us, and then we'll level up. Ah, it's you, my savior. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's good to be back. I do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. And we got savory pie. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do like a really fast jump cut. I gotta make a quick phone call. Sorry. 1 second, guys. Alright, back. As you can see, my characters didn't move, so there's no trickery afoot. I got back from like a 5-hour drive, and my fiance wanted to know that I was okay. So, I had to give her a quick call, let her know everything was aces. And, oh, I should probably let you guys know, I'm getting a puppy on either Tuesday or Thursday. It's the cutest little thing, part of an accidental litter, and it's going to be a miniature American Eskimo. I'm going to put it on the webcam. I'm actually going to do it on like the chair thing, which I totally forgot to do, and didn't show you guys my new chair, which I should do. Maybe in the next Triple Crown playthrough, I'll throw my my stream UI on so that you guys can see through my camera, or I'll just, you know, I can just put my camera on, I guess. Not right now, but because I look like shit right now. I just got back from a 5-hour drive. I definitely do not look peachy keen at the moment. We're going to go talk to the dwarf. We might as well. And then we'll talk to Eder as well. There's Eder. Where is the thing? There's the thing. Caldara de Branzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspended her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. We will reach out with our mind powers. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down into some deeper consciousness, in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog. Her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you. Have you come here?
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Her eyes squint as she peers down at you. I think I survived a bioact. Do you know why that might be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Caldera appraises us with a scholarly interest for a moment before resuming her cheerful demeanor.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Call them. Those days are all behind me now.
she says while smiling sadly at a thought. How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Caldera moves her tongue around in her mouth as if testing it. She gives us a motherly smile. I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there?
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten.
She nods again.
You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, no. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at us reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whispers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again. But less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you. Oops, that's not the right button.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are.
I see.
But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Well, that's pretty much all I gotta say to you.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into vision from some unknown place of waiting. We got Crucible of the Soul. And I think we got a level up for everybody involved.
17 and a half.
What? The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthly and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
Sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway. Name's Eder. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
He extends his hand. He looks us up and down and grimaces and tisks. What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Possible, I don't drool half as much. Ha, so you're already familiar. Still, you have to forgive my curiosity. Round here we prefer to turn a blind eye to our dead. Do you know what a watcher is?
Careful, friend. Let's not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Well, why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Frederick sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority that someone in town was working with Kulsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fellow decides he's a living incarnation of Aethys, overthrows Red Saris, marches on the Deerwood, so we give him a Deerwooden hello. What's a Deerwooden hello?
Blew him up.
He smiles at this, but the smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Who is Aethys? The god of rebirth and redemption. Formerly, anyhow. Maybe they'll call him something different from where you're from. Got other questions. What does the town have against you?
Picked the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Too bad.
After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
He looks up at the tree, his eyes trailing one of the swinging bodies. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking, mostly. He gives a half smile. Point of fact, I'm on my way out, just haven't figured out where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Widewind's legacy started with Widewind. Could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Cad Noir. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before.
Something kindles in Eder's eyes and the vigor of purpose finds its way into his voice.
Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
He scratches his beard absently with a calloused thumb.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He shrugs and glances briefly at the tree. He tilts his head forward and gives us a pointed look. Let's get going. We're not taking him in our group, of course. That would just be silly. Alright, so that's going to be the end of the video. We're at probably over 35 minutes, so that's going to be it for now. Like always, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. We'll do our leveling up then, and we'll continue on our way. Take care.